Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to answer a question that a lot of you wonder about, and that is how do psychics and mediums deal with delivering bad news to people during a reading? Okay, so the first thing that I would say to everybody is not to view anything as bad news, okay? There's not really any bad news, there's just reality and the way that things are, okay? So in any reading, we're talking about what's coming up for you. So first of all, with mediumship readings, okay, we're not talking about the future. We're connecting you with loved ones in spirit. And don't forget that your loved ones in spirit don't become psychic just because they've died, okay? If they weren't psychic in life, they haven't become psychic just because they've died. So when they're talking to you about life, they're giving you their opinion on what's happening. And, I say what's coming up, but what's coming up is just their view of the direction that things are going in. Really, when you want to find out what's coming up in life, you talk about a psychic reading, okay? So in a psychic reading, we talk about what's coming up in the future for you, what's on your life path, okay? So there's no bad news. As I say, there's just reality, the way things are. But you come for a psychic reading to find out what way things are working out for you. And that gives you the opportunity to change things. Because if you know that something isn't going to work out the way that you want it to, then you can put in the extra effort to make sure it does work out, or you can bail out quicker and completely change your future. Okay. So, how a psychic deals with this is, first of all, whenever you go to any psychic for a reading, okay, anybody that's worth their salt will do a card turnover to find out who you are, what's going on in your life, where do you stand emotionally. That is the most important part of a reading, because no psychic wants to give a customer any news that they're not emotionally able to deal with. Okay, so that's the first major part. The second thing is, if you've ever been for a reading with me, you'll know that I say to people, how honest do you want me to be? Because some people don't want to know some stuff that comes up, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so I will always ask you, how honest do you want me to be with what I see in the reading coming up today? Okay, so if I see something coming up that I know the person won't like, I'm always inclined to say again, can I be completely honest here? And I'll just spit it out, okay? And I'll tell them, and you kind of know, that it's not the way the person wanted this to end up. I mean, for example, you might be talking about a relationship coming to an end. You might be talking about failing an exam or not getting the house that they want or whatever it might be, okay? So you know when you see it in the cards that it's not the news the person is going to want to hear. Now, when we're talking about death and illness and stuff like that, okay, and that's something a lot of people seek readings for, the first thing you have to remember is that your psychic is simply that, a psychic. They're not a doctor. They will not be giving you medical advice. They will not be diagnosing or prognosing anything. Okay. If you get any advice like that from a psychic, you should disregard it and speak to a qualified, either a GP or, a natural medicine practitioner or herbal medicine practitioner or whatever it might be, but speak to somebody who has qualifications in that area. Okay. So all the psychic can see is the way things are going to be. So it's very, very rare that we will be shown death in a reading. Okay. The reason for that is there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. If someone close to you is going to die, you cannot do anything to change that. So what is the point in your spirit guides stressing you out over that? Okay. So I found it has very rarely come up in a reading. Okay. It has come up in a few occasions. And again, it depends on how I felt the person at the beginning of the reading. Are they going to be able to take this? But, generally, I would say in 99.9% of cases, people are expecting it anyway. Okay. But I would always say to them, take the advice of the medical professional. Okay. I just have tarot cards, not a medical degree. And I stress that in every single reading. Okay. It's really important to remember that. So we can look at the way things are. So in general, especially if you're talking about your own health, we would look at things like, Are you going to be off your feet for a while? Is it likely that you'll be taking time off work? And when we're talking about the family around you, is your time and energy going to be taken up looking after somebody, holding somebody's hand, helping somebody through a stressful time? So these are things we will be looking out for, but we definitely won't be prognosing any outcomes for anything. Okay. So the way we deal with bad news, okay, is to first assess the person, see how much information or how much bad news that that person is able to take. Okay, so whenever anybody comes to me for a reading, I'm gauging their energy. Are they suicidal? Are they near to a breakdown? Are they emotionally all over the place? Are they newly bereaved? Lots of different things so that I can see how truthful I can be. It's one thing for someone to say to me that I can be totally truthful, but are they actually open and able to hear the truth? Okay, so I hope that gives you some answer to that question, and I will see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves.